It is Caterpillar time, and we have another model from Diecast Masters, and it's model number 85943. As usual, it's extremely well packed in a white outer shipping carton, and inside that is a nylon bag which covers a nice metal tin. This model is a hydraulic excavator in the 50-ton class, and it's the snappily named Caterpillar 349F LXE. Here's the nice tin, and it's beautifully printed, and there's information about the real machine on the back. So the tin is great, but we want to see inside, and off comes the lid. And to begin with, there's a few bits and pieces, and we start with an instruction sheet, and that tells us how to put the operator in the cab. And there's the usual Diecast Masters mini brochure, and that contains details of a bazillion different Caterpillar models. Also in the top of the tin we can see the operator. So let's pull him out by the head. And there's still one more item to come out, and that's a pair of plastic tweezers, so we can carry out operations on the operator. Out comes the big piece of top foam, and we get our first view of the model sitting in the bottom. So it's time to take the plunge and put your hand in and pull out the model. And as you can see here, this one's got automatic release track protectors, or in other words, loose easy slide covers. Just one more piece of packaging to remove, and that's an elastic band that secures the roof during shipping. For this review, we'll class putting the operator in as being assembly. And to start with, we'll get our operator wearing the world's largest pair of ear defenders, and we'll use those to carefully insert the operator in the cab. Once he's in, we can stop him getting out by sticking the roof back on. Starting underneath, and the metal crawler tracks are nicely detailed, and the main base plate is plastic, with some detail on the underside of the body. The track frames don't have working rollers, but there's some detailing including graphics. The cab has got a soft plastic mirror assembly, and it's a little bit unusual inside because there's a nice two-tone seat. The grills in the body are formed by faint graphics, and details in the casting are a little bit obscured by thick paint. But a plus point is the quality of the graphics that are on the model. At the back there's also a video camera, and the engine cover is decent. One of the very nice bits of detailing are these textured steps, and the handrails are made of plastic, some of which are very soft. And overall they're certainly not as nice as metal handrails. The detailing of the hydraulics is very good. There are hoses and pipes, and it's nice to see that the connectors have been highlighted with silver paint. The sticker's got some tiny graphics on it. The connection rivets for the bucket are painted and not removable, and some of the detailing of the bucket is covered by thick paint. To begin with, the crawler tracks won't bite and roll on the smoothest of surfaces, but they are nicely engineered because they roll easily by hand, and tension is maintained in the usual way by spring-loaded idlers. Rotating the machine performs solidly with no rocking, and it's all reasonably smooth with no jerkiness. The last bit of functionality to look at is how well does it dig, and in terms of upward reach it seems reasonably good. And because it can reach up, it can also reach out. The hydraulic rams have all got a nice stiffness, so there's no problem holding any pose that you want to set. You might also want to display it as a load on a truck, so let's see how small it folds up, and it does a good job. Let's try and dig deep and see how deep we can dig. And this is probably the weakest part of the functionality, and that's because the boom doesn't go down far enough, and you can see that at its lowest there's still quite a bit of exposed piston. Lastly, let's get the 349 on the road, And for that we'll bring in the newest truck in the Cranes Etc. fleet. This Caterpillar 349F is a solid offering from Diecast Masters. There is some very nice detailing and most of the functionality works well too. And like all Diecast Masters Caterpillar models, it's beautifully presented in its tin. So overall, as a model of a 50-ton excavator, it's rated as very good.